decades. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese.
To put it mildly, after Dan Patrick lost it over Angel Reese, things did not go well. Make sure you crush that before we get too dramatic. The WNBA has recently seen a significant increase in tension. Please click the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I can assure you that you won't want to miss any of the chaos that is approaching. Let's return to the meltdown.
Just saying, between these two, Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
Dan Patrick called out Angel Reese and offered more than just shade, while Caitlin Clark continues to do what she does best, completely control the court. Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark's point scoring makes WNBA television an absolute must-watch. Breaking records and turning every game into a personal highlight reel in the interim, Angel is acting out to get attention back. Seeing someone try to steal a microphone during someone else's show is embarrassing.
And that's why this is a silly argument. Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is a wonderful player. Absolutely. Plays hard, both ends. She's not Rookie of the Year.
Dan was obviously pulling for Caitlin, as evidenced by the fact that he roasted Angel like it was a Sunday BBQ and did not hold back. Reese was having none of it, even after Dan said what everyone was thinking but was too scared to express it out loud. She entered a complete and total meltdown. The worst thing is that I'm even returning the favor by going to the media. While Angels was busy slinging taunts, Caitlin Clark remained composed and let her performance speak for itself. Dan Patrick showed Angel Reese a level of affection that she was unprepared for. Is it really so shocking that Dan is stomping through with a megaphone, expressing what everyone else is undoubtedly thinking, but is too scared to admit, while everyone else is busy dodging her feelings as if they were in a minefield? It was, let's face it, loud, brash, and very unfashionable. It's not exactly a free license to poke fun at legends. It's like trying to roast a member of the Hall of Fame, and you're not going to get away with it. She needed to be woken up by someone. People are probably still pulling their jaws up off the floor. The WNBA is still in a state of collective disbelief. Angel really needed a reality check, and she definitely got one. But Caitlin Clark did something incredibly amazing while playing against the Atlanta Dream during her outburst. Regarding Mark September 8, 2024, in your calendars, because that's when the Indiana Fever will pull off one of the season's most amazing upsets. A stunning 104-100 overtime victory that will have fans in a frenzy. To be honest though, Caitlin Clark was unstoppable. She finished with 26 points and 12 assists, practically ruling the court like it was her own little playground. Oh, and when she recorded her 14th double-double of the campaign, she unintentionally shattered the franchise record. Yes, it's just that it's not a huge problem. Just before the game ends, Caitlin intervenes to save the day. She clearly approaches the free throw line nonchalantly, as though it were any other Tuesday, and sinks all 4 of her attempts, as if she were placing a coffee order. Today, I suppose I'll just dominate the game. The true magic happens in the last few seconds, so let's talk about those. There was no hesitation, no anxiety, only unwavering assurance at that moment. All others, including the defenders, who most likely used a map to determine Caitlin's whereabouts, were merely onlookers. While everyone else seems to be flinging confetti in Caitlin's direction, Angel Reese is undoubtedly not handing out fan club memberships to anyone who is not fully on board with Caitlin Clark. Every time Caitlin touched the ball, the audience went bonkers, rising up and yelling like they had just won the lottery. She made it plain that when everything falls apart, she's the one holding the glue. Angels appear to be waving signs that say, "Hey, don't forget about me," said she has been making sure that everyone knows that she is deserving of some attention. Additionally, Spotlight refutes the idea that a single lady aided in the NBA's meteoric rise to fame. Angel hasn't had her best season, despite the fact that she has made waves in the league. She almost seems unhappy that Caitlin is stealing the attention she used to get while she is out there making clutch shots, sinking them, and altering the course of the game. To put it mildly, Angel's season has been a character-building experience. People are noticing the gap in their performances, which is as obvious as a missed layup. Though she's dominant, some people treat Caitlin Clark like the last marshmallow at a campfire because of her skin tone. or simply because they think the media is focusing too much on her.
Didn't notice the game, they're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA.
Let's get Dan now. Patrick, who showed out with no composure and a full tank of brutal honesty, didn't just take a chance. He practically went into full roast mode after calling out Angel Reese on his show. In other words, Dan wasn't holding back when he delivered to the Angels what could have been the most scathing critique in WNBA history. No, not at all, I promise. Without Caitlin's extraordinary talent, the league wouldn't be receiving such high viewership and media attention. Dan made that very clear. But guess who didn't get any credit? Yes, Angel Reese. You guessed it. With the force of a sledgehammer, Patrick conveyed the whole truth, not just a hint, not even a small token of appreciation for coming. This was no gentle prod. There were lights flashing and sirens blaring. It was an honest assessment of reality. Dan did a fantastic job capturing the moment in his painting when Caitlin seemed to be carrying the WNBA on her back. To be honest, Dan isn't entirely wrong, but Angel seems more interested in pointing the finger than accepting accountability. Angel's season has been more like an insane roller coaster journey with ups and downs, as well as twists and turns. She and Caitlin's distance increases faster than a freeway during rush hour. Social media went nuts right on cue. It was impossible to browse around TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter without coming across Patrick's comments or Dan's mic drop moment. As Angel was being hauled through the dirt, fans were yelling Caitlin on like she was the new basketball queen. This wasn't simply another instance of anything becoming viral. It spread like wildfire online. Fans, pundits, and even the casual Sunday show all agreed that any claim that Angel was anywhere close to co-star status in the WNBA was as credible as someone saying cats can fly. The conversation was more than simply sidetracked by Patrick's potent roast. The crowd heartily welcomed Dan's criticism that the fireworks show began with the match. Angel Reese didn't quite walk the talk at a news conference. She went all in with a full-on breakdown image, calling out bias left and right and alleging people were attempting to steal her thunder instead of blowing off or allowing her to play the hero. Reese expressed her disapproval of Caitlin receiving all the spotlight, comparing her to Beyoncé in the basketball world. Reese insisted that she ought to receive equal recognition for drawing attention to the WNBA. She seemed to be saying, "Hey, don't forget about me. I'm the main event too," as Angel was occupied with derogatory remarks on social networking. As Angel continued to text, Caitlin Clark remained as quiet as a midnight library, continuing to do what she had been doing all season: absolutely dominate the court. She refrained from making any comebacks or ironic remarks. To be honest, every time Caitlin put on an amazing show, it made Angel's online tirades seem a little bit silly. She let her jump shots do the talking. The gap between them widened with each game, and Angel's irritation seemed to be spreading like a terrible haircut. Why then is Angel so furious? Fans, commentators, and even casual viewers are clearly divided right now over whether Caitlin Clark is merely a newsflash or whether she will fundamentally change the WNBA playbook. Spoiler alert for those who have been following along. Remember that Caitlin isn't just stopping by. She's here to stay and is completely changing the game. The facts speak louder than a coach during a timeout.
Thought about pulling up from three, will dip inside. There are the first points in the WNBA career of Caitlin Clark.
On May 14, 2024, Caitlin Clark made her debut. Yes, you read that right. 2 million people watched the game, making it the most viewed WNBA game on ESPN ever. The nicest part is that this was her very first game. Talk about leaving a lasting impression. The Liberty Showdown became the highest viewed WNBA game on ABC when it officially attracted 1 billion views on May 21. Every time she stepped on the court, it appears like she breaks records for spectators with ease. Then, in a historic matchup on August 28, 2024, she took on the Atlanta Dream, attracting 617,000 viewers on NBA TV. The intense WNBA matchup between Caitlin and her boss is now over. It seems like Caitlin turned a typical Tuesday night into a primetime show that everyone had to watch. She must be wondering why everyone seems to be in such awe. Given how Caitlin Clark continues to run the court as though she owns it, and Angel Reese is obviously the victim, who do you think deserves it more? Dan Patrick or Caitlin Clark? What are your thoughts on Caitlyn or Spotlight Angel? Kindly leave a comment below. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and like the video to stay up to date on all the WNBA action as it happens. I appreciate you looking.